So the moral of the story, if you're a parent, if you're a coach, if you're a manager, do your job, have faith that you've done your job, lead your people, show them what needs to be done, tell them how you want it done, guide them, and then step back and see if they can do it. Earlier this week, I made a post about an experiment that I tried out with one of my U11 girls teams. And I promised that I would share that experience with you here a little bit later in the week. I was just waiting for a little bit of free time, and right now my son's back here practicing lacrosse. And I've been busy all week getting stuff set up for the spring season. It's been a busy day for those that are aware of what's going on in the world. I've had my hands kind of full the past couple of days. But a little bit of time out here sitting by a field. The wind might get a little noisy, but I just wanted to take a minute to talk about this experiment and how the girls responded, and a little bit about what we should do as coaches or maybe parents or leaders, just to change the environment, change the circumstances, change the situation. Because let's face it, no matter what we do in life, whether it's at work, whether it's on the soccer field, or even at home, things get mundane. We get bored, and it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's the story for our U11 girls. They have had a pretty good season, a pretty good winter. They competed really hard, really well for the first two sessions of winter indoor. And this last session, they've just been in a slump. And they know it. We know it. Parents know it. Everyone, you can see it on the field. The teamwork's not there. The communication isn't there. So we had a game on Sunday, and it was the same old for us on session 3. The girls came out. They looked sluggish. They looked tired. And, I get it. It's been a long season. We're all getting a little burned out, and we're inside. So we want to get outside and change that. But we got to make the best of what we have right now. So the game starts. We come out looking like we're asleep again, just like the past 2 or 3 games. And the other team we're playing, they're an older team. They are a faster team, a bigger team. So they get a quick 3-0 lead. Got some people trying to interrupt my video. So they get a quick 3-0 lead, take it all the way up to the halftime. And we have our little halftime chat. I have the girls there. We're chatting. We're talking, explaining, I can't go out there and do it for you. You guys, you know what you need to do. You have all the tools to do it. Everything that you need to compete against this team, you already have. You just have to go out there and want it and do it. We're not passing. We're not communicating. And I told the girls, it's the same thing I tell you guys every week. And I was frustrated. I'm not going to lie. As a coach, I expect a lot out of my players. They are good. They're good soccer players. And I expect them to go out and give it their all every week and compete and leave it all on the field. And we just haven't done that. So the last straw was I had asked every season, every indoor game, we always play our keeper for one half, and then we have a volunteer play the second half. We do that for multiple reasons. One of my main reasons behind it is I like for all of my players to see the field from the goalie's perspective. So we always rotate it around indoor, and indoor doesn't mean anything. We're just out there having fun. So indoor doesn't mean much. So we rotate the goalie. So just like I do before the start of every second half, I ask the girls or the boys, I say, who wants to play goalie? And not a single person put their hand up in the air. I looked around for a while, still no hands up in the air. I got frustrated. So I walk off the pitch and I tell the girls, fine, you guys figure it out. And it wasn't even 2 seconds later, we had a young lady raise her hand and volunteer to be in goal. And that started the whole process. I told the ladies, I'm like, look, I am not going to coach you this half. You guys are going to go out there, you're going to coach yourself, you're going to do it all on your own. I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm just going to jot notes down. They looked at me. They're like, okay. I'm like, what I'll do is I'll tell you who's starting and then you girls will figure it out. I'll tell you when to sub in, but I'm not telling you who you're going in for. I'm not going to tell you what position to go in at. I'm just going to tell you when you're going in. You call off the players you want to call off, and you go play the positions that you want to play. It was kind of a weird moment. So the game started. I told the starters where they were, that they were on the field. They picked their positions, and they went out there and they played. After about 4 or 5 minutes, I told the girls that were on the bench with me, I said, look, you guys are going in a minute. Figure out where you're going in and who you're going in for. And then when I sub you, just call them off and go play. And some of the girls were like, well, where do you want us to go? I'm like, that's your guys' choice. You guys are coaching this game. So they did that, and we kept on with this process. For the next line of substitutions, I noticed something on the sideline that kind of impressed me, and it was the girls were talking about who they were going to go in for next. I heard the girls communicating with each other. They were talking to each other about, all right, I'm going to go here, take this girl off, I'm going to go here. And one girl said something that really, it gave me the aha moment. And that girl looked at the other girl and said, you know what? She just went on. We can't sub her off. Why don't we take someone off that's been on for a while and looks tired? I was like, sweet, it's working. The girls are communicating. They're watching the game. Because before, as a coach, and I'm out there coaching the game, and I'll look down the line. I'm like, all right, let's go. You're next. And, they're talking and they're communicating. They're not watching the game. But this experiment, these girls were watching the game. They're looking to see who's tired. They're looking to see what position they want to play. And they did a really good job of it. So that was the difference that I noticed on the sideline. As far as, with my sub players. They're communicating, they're talking, and they're watching the game. And it really worked out well. The other thing I noticed is the girls were starting to communicate on the field. They started passing. Everything that I had been telling them to do, and a lot of times I tell them to do during the game while I'm coaching, they weren't doing it until I made them the coach. Then they went out there and they got it done. They were, like I said, nice through balls, playing their positions, passing, stopping everything, communicating. It was just a prime example. As a coach, our job, and same thing goes for parents and leaders and managers and just about everybody. Your job is to show someone how to do it. And then you've got to give them the opportunity to go out and prove they can do it. And that doesn't mean looking over their shoulder and telling them how to do every single thing. That doesn't mean, as a coach on the sideline, telling every single player when to pass, where to go. That doesn't mean as a parent telling your kid, make sure your homework's done, or make sure this is done, or do this and do that and clean your room. Sometimes as leaders, and parents, you are leaders, and managers, you are leaders, and coaches, you are leaders. Sometimes as leaders, we need to trust that we did our job right, teaching the things that we wanted our players and our employees and our workers to know. And then we need to let go, step back, and just observe. Watch them, see if they are capable, see if they have an understanding, and let them go out there and prove themselves. without any input from us. And I'll tell you what, I've always been a big proponent of stop the joystick coaching, the sideline coaching, let the kids think for themselves. And it's hard to do. And I don't have any problem with a coach saying something every once in a while, hey, get back into your position or get a little wider, because we need guidance. Parents are paying for guidance. We don't want to throw a kid out in the field and just have him be lost for a whole, 50-minute game. So that's not what I'm saying. Coaches, but there are, those coaches out there that are screaming the whole entire game, telling their players what to do, where to go, and all that. So I experimented with this, and the results, the girls communicated really well. They played really well. They started doing the things that we had for months and months and months been practicing, and they knew how to do it. Maybe they were just sick and tired of hearing me yell at them, telling them where to go and what to do. So I shut my mouth, I watched, and they confirmed for me that they know exactly what to do. Now, we didn't win the game, and that's not important to me. But the second half, it was 0-0. So we didn't allow any goals, and we had a lot more scoring opportunities. After the game, I pulled them aside. We had our little team chat, and I talked to them about, the experiment, and a lot of them admitted that they were a little confused or they were nervous, and they didn't know what to do or where to go. But after about 5, 6, 7 minutes out there on the field, all of that was gone. These girls came off the side and they're talking, and it was a big learning experience for me as a coach. I think it was a great learning experience for my players to show them that our job is to prepare them, and then it's their job to go out and perform. And they did it really well. Super proud of them. I was able to, after the game, I jotted all my notes down. We went over a lot of the things that they did wrong, but we also covered a lot of the things that they did right. And another cool thing was I was calling girls out and telling them what they did well, or I was calling the team out and telling them what they did well. And the girls were just clapping for each other. So what started out as a very disappointing game as far as the first half ended up turning into a very positive experience for the ladies, and I was super proud of them. I was happy with the outcome despite having the loss. This was a big growth opportunity for them, and they stepped up and they took the challenge, and they succeeded. So the moral of the story, if you're a parent, if you're a coach, if you're a manager, do your job. Have faith that you've done your job. Lead your people. Show them what needs to be done. Tell them how you want it done. Guide them. And then step back and see if they can do it. That's all I got, guys. It was awesome. If you've had an experience like this, or you think I'm crazy, go ahead and comment in the section below. That's all right. I'm okay with it. So until next time, guys, have a great day. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to go for a little walk and wait for my kid to get out of lacrosse practice. So take care. Talk to you soon.